Alright, twins, and D. Look, bro, you know what I'm saying? Morning. Good morning on my twins, you know what I'm saying? Well, my twins doing good. Just like good, like good shit. But look, yeah, one of the twins dropped this in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Twin been trying to get me to react to this little vid, you know what I'm saying? This little documentary or whatever. So, yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the twin, shout out to all my twins. Coming up on 500 subs, man. Gonna drop a sub, drop a like for the twin on, bro, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate your time. Anyways, yeah, we're going to go and see what's going on this side of town, man. And yeah, go ahead and follow me on Twitch, follow me on IG, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and comment some music, you know what I'm saying? Comment some documentaries, you know what I'm saying? Some knockout videos, whatever's going on, you know what I'm saying, bro? Whatever you want to see. But anyways, nonetheless, hope you doing good.
Presented in a journalistic context.
All that good shit.
A former gang member is asking Dallas police to do more to fight gang violence.
Officer in Dallas was wanted for 2 counts of capital murder.
The family of a 20-year-old woman is threatening to sue the city for negligence.
I saw them shooting. I have my 2 kids at home, so that really just shook me.
Since I'm one of the oldest, I gotta be stronger for my family. So
it's hard to be strong.
I can't really show emotions.
Yakuza, the demonic psychopath from the East Dallas and Pleasant Grove set OTS, has risen to popularity in the Dallas drill scene, and one of the main faces of Dallas drill FBG murder, Yakuza has risen to the top level of savages in the street.
Okay, so this about 20 of them. Okay, all right, okay. Let lock in, because I be listening to bro. And I told y'all to tap me into what be going on. So I bet. Hold on, let me get right.
Of Dallas, with an alleged body count of 6, Yakuza has become one of Dallas's most feared killers. Most recently, shocking the entire city of Dallas, being arrested whilst being on the run after him, and fellow OTS members rammed into Dallas police in a stolen truck in July. In this video, we will take a look into all of the bodies that are said to
did that nigga just fall on his face?
In July. In this video, we will take a look into all of the bodies that are said to be associated with Yakuza. I would like to clarify for 2 of them, he was accompanied by another person, so that will be taken into consideration as well. But without further ado, let's take a deep dive into all of the victims of Yakuza. Yakuza, real name Deontay Moore, was born on July 5, 2005 in East Dallas, more specifically the East Grand Avenue neighborhood.
He said he was born in what? When that young nigga was born?
Yakuza, real name Deontay Moore, was born on July 5, 2005 in East Dallas, more specifically the East Grand Avenue neighborhood, or 223 short for the zip code of the neighborhood. Yakuza even has 223 tattooed on his neck. Not surprising at all, Yakuza is actually the younger brother of another Dallas savage by the name of Steppa, real name Demonta Moore, being born on October 10, 2001. Steppa, whilst looking harmless, has proven to have a lengthy track record with the Dallas police, even once putting hands on a teacher whilst attending Mesquite High School in 2018, as well as his state fair incident, where he fired at a man whilst leaving the fair. This is where Yakuza is said to have picked up his extreme love for violence, as well as his introduction into the ruthless streets of Dallas, Texas, joining SCG or Sack Chaser Global. This, of course, would later become the now famous Only the Sacks, or OTS for short.
Sacks, OTS 444, don't like nobody.
Co-founded by Foolie, a member from the 65 section of Pleasant Grove SCG, along with another gang in the area. No Hospital Gang, or NHG, would begin to cause terror in T streets of Dallas, beefing with the FBG, or Free Bird Gang, a group from 4 Deuce in South Dallas. Cartel, or Man and his younger brother Arrow would become famous around Dallas for fighting until they would start toting guns. As stated before, they were also beefing with the group FBG, a beef that would make many scratch their heads, saying as Strizzy, a top member for FBG, just happens to be cousins with FBG murder. However, that wouldn't stop the tragedy that would unfortunately take place on April 17, 2021, when Seriante Green, also known as Fats, would attend a park gathering at a park in South Dallas, when shortly after walking from the car, 2 men would pull up, exit the vehicle, and fire towards Fats, unaliving him on the scene. These 2 assailants are said to be none other than Steppa and his younger brother Yakuza. As I mentioned before, this was one of the bodies that he was present for, but his rounds probably weren't the fatal rounds. This is supported by autopsy reports showing that Fats was unalived by a pistol round, very important since Yakuza was using a AR. However, while only being 15 years old at the time, this is believed to be Yakuza's first time unaliving someone. with most people saying they observed an intense shift in Yakuza's demeanor, seeing him show signs of insomnia as well as PTSD. Nevertheless, this is where most say Yakuza would be heavily praised by his OTS members, meanwhile being hated by FBG and sniper gang members. Yakuza would become one of OTS's top shooters. Loved for his ability to beat his enemies to the takedown, Yakuza would be used as protection for his courage. On May 29, 2021, Tyler Rashid Ingram, aka T-Man, would take Yakuza with him to rob an 18-year-old man named KB, real name Kobe Mascoro. T-Man would bring prop money to the exchange, in agreement to buy some pounds off of Kobe. Man. Having Yakuza wait outside of the car.
Twin was the plug.
In agreement to buy some pounds off of Kobe. Having Yakuza wait outside of the car just in case anything went wrong. Unfortunately, it would when Kobe would realize what was happening. Unable to get to him from the back seat, T-Man signaled for Yakuza to help. He creeps up from the side, firing at Kobe and unaliving him. This death is actually pretty significant, since it's said to be the true root to the beef between OTS and OTG, since Kobe was actually the cousin of OTG member True Glizzy. T-Man, being the actual stepbrother of Yakuza, would take the rap for the case, not wanting to let his younger brother spend the rest of his life behind bars. The robbery situation would show how advanced the Sacks were when it came to deception. They would become known for robbing dealers or running off. Number 7, a known member of the Set Stretch Gang would take a great liking into Yakuza, allegedly taking him in as a paid hitman for him. Having problems with the clique B4L, Number 7 would put money on a close affiliate of the group by the name of Billy. Steppa and Yakuza would take this opportunity immediately. On January 12, 2022, they would spot Billy in a parking lot of some apartments in Pleasant Grove, both firing, unaliving Billy at the age of 26. This is where the beef between B4L Baby comes about, where he raps FOTS, nigga FNHG in the track Stepping for Billy. This makes sense because NHG are actually like underdogs to Stretch Gang, with members posting them often on their stories till this day, and OTS and NHG were cool at this time. Something to note about Yakuza during this period is that he would be showing true signs of mental incompetence, such as in the video for popular NHG rapper Bangman's track The One, where Yakuza can be seen bobbing his head weirdly faster than everyone else, something that is very strange, saying as the tempo for said song is much slower than what he's doing in the video. This is just one of the very few instances that would support the widely speculated idea that Yakuza is in fact truly screwed up in the head after being around senseless violence growing up. However, one death would have a devastating impact on Yakuza as well as other OTS members. Back in 2021, in the early morning hours of April the 4th, Hank, real name Kovion Williams and member of the Fast Money clique, was unalived on the 7800 block of Sovereign Row in Stemmons Corridor. He was 18 years old at the time. Surprisingly enough, Hank would actually be killed in the act of sliding on some of his ops, allegedly them being a mixture of Bank Bro members, a Mesquite-based gang, and Freebody gang, a gang from the BFL section of Oak Cliff. This is rather shocking to think about, saying as Bug, a currently incarcerated member of Freebody gang, is responsible for making Hank snaggle tooth after knocking a few of his teeth out after Hank would attempt to rob him months prior to his death.
What the fuck?
Gang from the BFL section of Oak Cliff. This is rather shocking to think about, saying as Bug, a currently incarcerated member of Freebody gang, is responsible for making Hank snaggle tooth after knocking a few of his teeth out after Hank would attempt to rob him months prior to his death. A video would circulate afterwards showing Hank unalived on the ground with a chop next to his feet, something that is often mocked and rapped about by his rivals, often referencing him dying while attempting to slide. OTS members would begin to claim Hank due to him be closely tied with OTS members, starting the phrase, Hank Gang Forever. 2022 would see the Sacks try their hand at rapping, with Arrow, real name Eric Lampkin Scarborough, or the real FBGK, dropping gritty drill tracks like his Then Leave remix, where he brags about being a certified shooter and having a high body count in the streets, where you can see notable faces such as Man or Cartel, who is actually the older brother of Arrow, as well as BB, a 6K member associated with No Hospital Gang. Unfortunately, this brief moment outside of the streets wouldn't last long, because Yakuza would eventually catch his most famous body. I'm of course talking about TG or Gunna, real name Tavarius Robinson, a known slime in the city of Dallas, most known for being a part of Jug Team, a clique from the Ewing Villas townhomes in Oak Cliff, approximately 3 minutes from the Dallas Zoo. TG's death would be very strategic, saying as he was said to always be on his pivot. becoming known as one of the biggest practitioners of backdooring, the act of befriending a person or group to get close to them just to betray them when they least expect it, either for money or other lucrative goods they may be involved with. As the story goes, TG had been causing a lot of problems throughout the gritty streets of Afghanistan, being surrounded with numerous cliques around the city from 2020 to 2022, with some of these groups being into it with each other simultaneously. One group that he was with would actually be a fatal mistake due to the underlying issues between them and OTS. This would be none other than FBG, which would obviously not sit right with OTS, since they were actively at odds with them after unaliving Fats back in 2021. TG attended the funeral of Fats, which may support the idea that TG had an actual bond with FBG members, and wasn't trying to just come around and slime them. Nevertheless, OTS would have their plans in motion. They would allow TG to believe he was a part of OTS, which they had just created not too long ago that year in 2023, changing from their previous Savvy K Chaser Global. They would plan to link up together on July the 4th, allegedly having TG believe that they would be attending a block party, when in reality the plot would be much more sinister as details would later prove. Nevertheless, TG, along with Yakuza and a now FBG murder, real name Kato Rivers, would agree to meet up together at the block party in the East Grand Avenue neighborhood of East Dallas, with the three of them wearing matching outfits, later all posting fit pics before they met. Now the exact specifics of what went down that night are not completely clear, but what is known is that TG went to meet with OTS at this block party. Unfortunately, TG, real name Tavarius Robinson, wouldn't return home that night. He would sadly be found unalived in the alley of a house. This is highly rumored to be the work of none other than Yakuza, with other members Mula and Man playing crucial roles in his demise as well. This situation is truly a testament to how sadistic OTS really are, and the great lengths they will go to prove they are the most ruthless clique in all of Dallas. The murder of TG was a strategic and decisive setup from the beginning, starting with Yakuza attempting to backdoor Gunna about a week prior, meeting up with him to trade guns, not going through with it due to him being with his child at the time. Now, something to be mindful of about this detail is that, in the streets, people usually are never doing business the right way. Someone is always waiting or attempting to get over on the next person, hence why trading is usually a no-no in the streets. However, the two would agree to trade firearms, but they both were thinking the same thing. TG, given a Glock 26 handgun from an alleged friend, would trade Yakuza the pistol for a Tech 9. As stated before, Yakuza was already trying to backdoor Gunna, so he gave him a faulty tech that would knowingly jam if it was fired. This is the same tech that you see on TG's last post sitting on the counter. Later that day, after arriving at the promised house for the block party, TG would be met with a scary surprise. There, of course, was no block party. There was no one there but TG and OTS. That's when TG realized what was going on, allegedly running through the back being chased by Yakuza, Man and Mula, where he was shot and unalived and left in the alley, sadly being found by his family on July 6th. Yakuza is said to be the one who put almost 7 shots to TG's face. Murda and Yakuza would delete the photos they posted of them matching with TG later the next morning, with TG's post staying up, being the last thing he would post on that day. OTS would be called out openly by people for backdooring TG, with people mainly putting the blame on Yakuza. He would go on to attempt to cover his tracks by fake mourning TG, creating an entire highlight on his Instagram, posting about how he missed TG and would be sliding for him for revenge, knowing he was the one behind his death. Yakuza is truly a psychopath by all means, going as far as to get TG's name tatted on him to throw the law enforcement off of his trail.
What the fuck? He tatted his name? Nah, twin, young nigga was a demon for real. What the fuck? Yo.
His Instagram, posting about how he missed TG and would be sliding for him for revenge, knowing he was the one behind his death.
What the
Yakuza
fuck?
is truly a psychopath by all means, going as far as to get TG's name tatted on him to throw the law enforcement off of his trail. This wouldn't do much for the others involved, since members Man and Mula were arrested shortly after the passing of TG, both being charged in connection to his death, after Man was allegedly caught on camera going back to the getaway vehicle used in the murder. TG's mom would be searching everywhere for her son, with no help from anyone, constantly asking people for answers, mainly the question of where is TG. This would start the popular phrase, "Where TF is TG," popularized by rapper Rundown 4 after his track of the same name a few months after TG passed. His ops mock him constantly, with many poking fun at the fact that a full adult man could even go missing in the first place, further proving the allegations against OTS that they in fact took out one of their own. Yakuza would be taken into custody not too long after this, but would be released due to insufficient evidence. This would be the last time that Yakuza would get off so easy after doing something so brazenly, because Yakuza, being the psychopathic hothead he is, would go on to shock the entire city of Dallas in what is said to be one of the biggest plot twists in all of Dallas drill. As 2024 comes around, the emergence of the new Dallas drill scene is taking the world by storm, with FBG Murda being one of the main voices of the movement. Having all eyes on him and his group OTS, he would rise to top ranks in the drill scene whilst having Yakuza with his bloody reputation of shoot first and ask questions later being the muscle for the group. March of 2024, Yakuza, looking to add to his growing arsenal, would begin discussing the possible purchase of switches from two teens from the North Dallas area, agreeing to meet up to do the transaction in a parking lot of the Uncle Lee grocery store in South Dallas. Now, sometime while in the vehicle, one of the teens would bring up the suggestion of a trade. Yakuza, not feeling the situation, possibly certain they were attempting to slime him, would do the absolute unthinkable, shooting both of the teens before getting out, taking a picture of one of them, then fleeing the scene. These two teens would be Cameron Stacy.
He took a pic. Why? For what? What do you mean you took a picture? What do you mean you killed two niggas and hopped out and took a flick? What the fuck is you on? What is buddy on?
They were attempting to slime him would do the absolute unthinkable, shooting both of the teens before getting out, taking a picture of one of them, then...
What the... Why? For what though? Like, you want to look at it later?
Fleeing the scene.
What?
These two teens would be Cameron Stacy, aka Cam, and Kamari Smith Caps, aka Mari, both 18 years old. Cam and Mari were a part of CTG, or Cutthroat Gang, a predominantly Hispanic clique from the Mayhem and Spring Valley section of North Dallas. They are closely allied with another predominantly Hispanic clique called SOS from the Richland Trace Apartments in North Dallas. The death of these two teens would spark large outrage from the local community, with many of them blind to the fact that they were actually gang members. No one other than CTG and SOS would even know who was behind this, however. With many assuming it was C4G from Oak Cliff, we would soon learn the truth when on July 25th, news would start to circulate of a large police presence in North Dallas due to an officer-involved shooting. This would unfortunately be Yakuza as well as top OTS member Arrow. They would be taken into custody after they would ram a stolen truck into Dallas police while trying to escape.
God. Good.
News would break of a wanted murder suspect being arrested after an officer shooting. The suspect would be Yakuza, since as info would later be revealed, he was actually on the run at the time due to his active warrant for the murders of Cam and Mari. Text messages would show Yakuza and the two SOS members planned on making a deal for the switches when Yakuza felt played and took them out, taking in pic of the bodies and sending them to SOS members telling them to get back. This would explain why.
What the fuck? Nigga said he sent it to him, told him get back. Damn. That nigga ain't give no fucks. Young nigga ain't give no fucks. That nigga took a flick and said, I'ma send it to him and tell him do something. Shit, young nigga.
Eventually,
I didn't know they was like that out
June
there.
7th,
God damn.
Yakuza, along with his mother, would be leaving a Walmart in the North Dallas area when a car would pull up, firing at their vehicle, leaving Yakuza's mom in critical condition and him walking away unscathed.
That's
he would almost
crazy.
instantly get on social media laughing at the attempt, whilst his mother was fighting for her life.
What the
Yakuza
fuck?
allegedly even used his own mother as a human shield when the shots started going off, and that came from a quote-unquote reliable source. This would later be proven to be the work of CTG members after they would get Yakuza's location from a female that used to deal with him. When this information was released, many people were shocked and confused, since this was completely out of the blue because SOS and CTG never had beef with OTS until this. So many people were just lost for words, because now this has started a completely new conflict, with CTG openly vowing revenge for Cam and Mari, now stamping the beginning of the war between SOS and OTS. Yakuza is currently in custody, as many fans of Dallas drill flock to his story, with many referring to him as the King Von of Dallas with a total of 6 bodies opposed to Von's alleged 7. Yakuza will definitely go down.
That young nigga was tripping, bro. What the fuck? Good shit, twin. Hey, W watch, twin. Good shit. You damn, that was a good watch right there. I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy. Bro said he clapped both of them, got out, took a flick, sent it to the ops, told him get back. Damn. Yo, that's different, bro. What the fuck, man? Hey, man. Anyways, man, let me know how y'all felt about that, man. Go on, drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, man. Appreciate all my twins. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. Hopefully you made it to the end of this story, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you did, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate you. Take that with you. But anyways, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and get out of there, man. Go and drop a like, comment, subscribe, man. We're coming up on 500 subs, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get to that 500 subs, man. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of there, man. I'm going to see y'all niggas in the next one, bro.